Please help me welcome Francois Piron. Francois and her husband Dennis have been living in their home for nearly 17 years. They are very keen to live a sustainable life in the suburbs and hope that by opening their home on Sustainable House Day this Sunday, it inspires other people to do the same within their means. And we'll pass it on to Francois to take it away.
Thanks everybody. So Denis and I live in Albert Park, which is 10 kilometres from the CBD, in an what we call an old-fashioned quarter-acre block. We bought our house in 1999. It's a 1930s workman's bungalow. The house has 3 bedrooms, a small lounge, a small bathroom, and a separate toilet. And when we bought it, it had a galley kitchen. The house was very dirty, uncared for, and the front veranda was very ugly and in very bad shape. We had the obligatory lean-to, which included a laundry and a small eating area, which we grandly called the dining room. I didn't have a photo of the inside, but you can imagine what it was like. The lean-to inside and out was very ugly. The property has a very large shed, and which it was empty when we bought the house, but is now full. This was the garden when we bought the house. It's a large area of weeds. It had a very prolific orange tree and several grapevines and just a lot of weeds. There was an incinerator, and for those of you too young to remember, these were used to burn all kinds of rubbish and are thankfully now illegal. But the incinerator was recycled into our current outside barbecue and was one of the first of our repurposing projects. The property also had a bunker, which was solid concrete and had been used to press grapes. Apparently at one stage the whole backyard was covered in vines. They were gone except a couple along the fence when we got there. The kids used this as a cubby house for a while. I've got notes. From 1999 to 2007, we renovated the old part of the house and we got stuck into the garden. We also installed an array of 8 solar panels, which give us enough power to negate our yearly electricity bill. In 2007, we decided we were ready to renovate. We did manage to live with that lean-to for 7 years, so it can be done. Denis did the basic design for the renovation. We had someone draft up the plans and assist us with the council process. We had a building site supervisor who sourced all the contractors, but Denis did have to keep a close eye on the project, and we did make all the design choices. So we renovated this for this. This extension is a rectangular room. It's 4 metres by 9 metres. It includes kitchen, dining room, a space for a sofa and a coffee table down the end there. We converted the galley kitchen into a storage laundry area. We renovated the small bathroom. We replaced the front porch with a bullnose veranda, which shades the front of the house in summer because that faces west and is also much more attractive. The back room has clerestory windows on 3 sides, which open on the inside. It's got bulk insulation plus sarking, which provides a combined rating of over 4.5. It has double glazing on all the windows and doors, and if you're going to put your money anywhere, I would recommend that from the get-go. Concrete flooring. It has a fairly large pantry in the kitchen and a lot of second-hand furniture. We do have a gas top on the stove, and the stove will probably see us out, so we're unlikely to convert to full electricity, even though that seems to be what's happening a lot at the moment. The room lets in a lot of light all year round and always feels welcoming. We have no heating or cooling in that room, and we manage fairly well all year round. The window on the northern side, which is just over here, is covered with an opaque glass, and that's because it faces the driveway, which is never a nice sight, whatever we do, and even when it's cleaned up, as it is for this coming Sunday. We've tried. This is the view from the kitchen. The kitchen has a window which also looks out onto the garden. That was my big request. And the grape-covered pergola, so that's obviously winter. There's nothing on it, but it has a lot of light coming through in winter and a lot of shade in summer. The back, so this is the back, faces east, and in summer we hang blinds in front of the large door, which we remove and store in winter. The eaves on the extension side here were calculated for minimum sun penetration into the room. They're lined with perforated corrugated iron. This is the northern side of the extension, and this is it with a cafe blind that we were given, which we can adjust, obviously. The pergola is covered in grapes, and you can see that it provides fruit for us, some birds, and some rats, but it does let the sun in. This is a shot of the garden, and Denis does this regularly over the years, and it's been really helpful to remind us of how far we've come since that weed infested. We have 2 main tanks in the backyard, and then we have some other tanks down the side of the house, plumbed to the toilet, and then others down the side of the garage, which go to a laundry tub out the back that I use for gardening. So we've got a capacity of 22,000 litres. We have quite a lot of fruit trees, including a very big olive tree. We have, these aren't ours, we babysat those, but we usually have chickens. We have an outdoor shower. We have a solar-operated fountain that looks like we've left the tap on, and a fish pond. So when people know that we're conscious about water and that tap's always running, they think it's very weird. We've got 5 large dedicated, that's somebody being artistic, not me, 5 dedicated vegetable beds, and the garden is kind of built on permaculture principles. So these are things that we've grown in the garden. This year we had about 50 plus kilos of olives. So if you come on Sunday, you might get to taste some. And then I do a lot of preserving, and one of the things that I'm very passionate about, apart from the built environment, is also all the other sustainable things that you can do in your life, such as preserving and being involved in your community. And if you need further convincing that living and thinking sustainably is worthwhile, you too could look as content as this man in your house. Thank you.